sports listeners. I'm your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
This whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes. Woo! And we're talking all athletes. Good morning, everybody. It's Erica, and I'm the Queen of Teen. You've landed on Teen Sports Radio. Thank you if you're joining us on AM. Thank you on FM. And, of course, Eternity Ready Radio. We appreciate all of you. I like to look at on SoundCloud, and I see Brussels, Belgium, and Buffalo. I like that. I know Buffalo's in this country, but this is nice. So it's great. This is all I believe a lot of it has to do with the internet and the fact that Eternity Ready Radio is broadcasted in 20 different countries, which is just beautiful stuff. And in the house today, really excited. We've got Christine. How you doing, Christine Marie?
I'm good. I'm here.
Nice. Adele Luttrell is here today. How you doing, Adele?
Doing well, thank you. Happy to be here.
Great. Stephanie Forrester. How you doing, Stephanie?
Great. Happy to be here also. It's a beautiful day.
Dominique Hackett. There you go. Dominique Hackett's got a hooga a little bit.
Hello. Good morning.
Nice. And Christine, you brought a guest. Who did you bring?
I brought Faye-Ann Wooten-Raya, who works with the Department of Behavioral Wellness in a new role of Prevention and Early Intervention Healthcare Program Coordinator for the MHSA team. So she's here to talk to us about a lot of the prevention and early intervention things, connecting out with the community. Say hi to everybody, Faye-Ann.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me today. I'm really looking forward to being here with all of you.
Super sweet. Well, it's perfect timing, right? Because May is what, Stephanie? May is what kind of month? We've got...
It is Mental Health Awareness Month for May.
Ooh. All right. So we're going to be doing a lot of mental hellness. That's what we need.
And drug.
We need wellness.
And what you'll see all around town and all around places, hopefully, is lighting up green for mental health awareness. So lime green is the color for mental health awareness. And a lot of the buildings all around town and all around the county and hopefully all around the country are lighting up green and putting up signs for mental health awareness.
Nice. I love it. All right, let's get to it. We're in the home stretch right now in all of our high schools. We've got Santa Barbara, DP, Bishop, and San Marcos. Let's get to it. Senior class president coming up in this next coming year. DP High School Chargers, Valeria Romo. What's going on?
Thanks, Erica. And hey, everyone. I'm Valeria Tiburcio Romo, back with this week's Charger recap. Starting off with boys volleyball, they played against Redondo Union in their second round of CIF playoffs. Unfortunately, the Chargers lost with the final score of 3-2. Then girls lacrosse also had a huge CIF game against Oakland. Unfortunately, the Chargers lost with the final score of 12-11. Despite the loss, senior Avery Ball had an incredible performance. She scored 6 goals and had 6 draw controls. Girls lacrosse ends their season with a 10-7 record. Moving on to boys baseball, they had a CIF wild card game against Moore Park. The final score was 6-0. Unfortunately, the Chargers lost. Boys baseball ends their season with a 6-14 record. And finally, boys lacrosse had their first round of CIF Division II Southern Section playoffs against Paloma Valley. This is the first appearance of DP boys lacrosse in the CIF playoffs. The Chargers won the game with the final score of 18-2. The offense was led by twins Dan and Jack Finneran, who both scored 3 goals, and Cairo Rios, who also scored 3. And finally, for this week's shout-out, I want to give a huge shout-out to all the athletes of DP. And that is it for this week's Charger Recap. I'm Valeria Tiburcio Romo, and I'll see y'all next week.
Thank you, Valeria. Okay, senior Sean Walters, Bishop Diego High School. Sean.
Thank you, Erica. This is Bishop Diego High School senior Sean Walters coming to you live on another day in Santa Barbara. Kicking us off with a big congratulations to our swim team for traveling down to Riverside last Tuesday and doing so well that they advanced to Saturday CIF finals after a great performance. Due to their amazing performance, our 4x50 boys relay team was able to win the consolation championship race, which was good enough for 10th place, and all swimmers getting new personal records. Noah Peterson and Capri Aquispis both swam so well in their individual events that they got 17th and 18th place respectively. A massive shout out to our swim team. That is just incredible, guys. Another week of great things for Bishop as sophomore Dominique DeRosa hit a hole-in-one on the second hole at the Santa Barbara Municipal Golf Course on day one of the Tri-Valley League Finals. That is such a big deal, and no one else has done that in the history of Bishop. Well, everyone, that is all and concludes this week's Bishop Sports Recap. Thank you so much for listening, and please don't forget to tune in once again next week. This is Sean Walters signing off.
Thank you, Sean. He's going to be starting up with Dr. D here real soon. Thank you so much, Dr. D.
You're very welcome. Anytime.
Yeah. We have so many teams that have entered into broadcasting, and I'm so thankful to you and to Les and to just the whole opportunity of having this show to support our kids in that way. What an experience. What a journey for a lot of them.
It's what needs to be done. It's the way it is supposed to be done. You're supposed to pay it forward, pass it on, and I don't want to retain all of this. I want to pass it on so I can move on to other stuff.
There you go. No, your time that's the thing that we all have. And as generous as you are for all these last 13 years with all of the commercials that you've on 2 stations now, 88 minutes a week we donate back to the community, over 28,000 minutes for the last 13 years. That's all on you, Dr. D. Thank you.
Well, thank you. You're very welcome.
Oh, we love you. You're like my brother. You know that.
I do.
All right. Let's get to we got a royal duet. We got San Marcos High School, Ambrose Partee, Sammy Schaefer. What's happening?
Thanks, Erica. It's Sammy and Ambrose here with your weekly sports update.
Congrats to Mason Rice from volleyball and Taylor Steelman from swimming for winning Roundtable Athletes of the Week.
Starting off with volleyball, our boys swept Canyon 25-23, 25-21, and 25-17 in a playoff match last Saturday.
Junior outside Jack Wilson led the Royals with 16 kills on a .5 hitting percentage, and Mason Rice put away 12 kills on the outside. Luke Walker had 11 kills on a .529 average at the opposite position, and middle Kyle Foley hit with the .75 with 6 kills.
And last Wednesday, our boys played Servite in a quarterfinal match, beating them in 4 games with scores of 23-25, 25-19, 25-18, and 25-19.
Foley got it going in the second set with the block of a free ball that gave the Royals a 9-8 lead. They never trailed again in the set, and Foley finished it with 2 kills and a combo block with Mason Rice.
He crushed 4 kills to spark the Royals to his 10-6 lead in the third set and recorded a solo block for the 22-14 advantage.
In the fourth set, the senior who was headed to Hunter College in New York City went off for a solo block, a straight down spike, and another block to put the Royals ahead 14-9.
Senior Hanson Streeter spread the ball around beautifully to create scoring opportunities for his teammates. Wilson had 11 kills and a hit, Walker put away 10 kills, and Rice added 9 kills. The Royals hit .344 as a team and had 14 total blocks against Servite.
Moving on to tennis, our boys beat Miracosta 12-6 in the first round of the CIF SS Division I Boys Tennis Playoffs at home.
The Royals' #1 singles player Matthew Chung swept his sets 6-1, 6-2, and 6-3, as did Carter Cottage at #3 singles 6-2, 7-5, and 6-3, and Jed Greenwald won the 2 sets he played 6-4 and 6-4.
In doubles, Joey and Charlie Friedman continued their winning streak for the Channel League champs, sweeping 6-0, 6-4, and 6-2.
Great job, boys. Now moving on to baseball, our boys beat California High 12-1 in a first-round CIF SS Division III baseball playoff game last Thursday at Joe Mueller Field.
Senior Cole Schoenwetter hit a bases-loaded triple in the second inning to extend San Marcos' lead to 5-0 against the team from Whittier.
On the mound, Schoenwetter pitched 4.2 innings, allowing 2 hits and a walk while striking out 7.
Caden Houdina continued his hot hitting in the second inning with an opposite field double that hit the fences on the bounce.
Houdina went 2 for 3 and walked twice.
Brad Chicata produced a big hit in the third inning, poking a ball up in the middle for 2 RBIs to make an 11-0 game.
San Marcos added 1 more run in the 6th inning on a Houdina RBI single.
Eric Perez relieved Schoenwetter in the 5th and pitched 1.1 innings. He allowed 1 earned run and struck out 2.
Darren Orlando closed the door on the Condors, picking up a strikeout in the top of the 7th.
Good luck to our boys on their second round match against the Heats.
And this week, we want to give our shout out to Kyle Foley for a great performance against Servite last Wednesday.
That's what we have for you this week.
Back to you, Erica.
Brilliant. God, these kids are so good. I'm so excited. We got such a powerful show this week. Stay tuned for more.
Fentanyl death is not a high. Don't let fentanyl lie. A killer in disguise that will make you die. Fly away peacefully from the mountains to the sky. Justin Bruce Forrester, 2/22/22, age 22. He left us all without saying goodbye.
Back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hello, this is Dominique Hackett with Santa Barbara Wellness Center, and I have a quick hygge story to share this morning. Kind of sets the stage for some of our conversation. So when we talk about hygge, we're really talking about comfortable conviviality. That's one way to describe it. So it's all the things in our life that we do that help us restore our energy, make us comfortable. Think of it as things that give us a warm hug, a sensation of drinking a hot cup of cocoa, that kind of sensation. We're creating those kind of moments in our life so that our body gets to relax and rejuvenate, makes learning easier, makes forming teams and friendships just really beautiful. So a story that I'd like to share, it's an old Aesop story, and it has to do with how we interact with one another. So there was an argument between the north wind and the sun. And the north wind was saying, I'm way more powerful than you are. And the sun was saying, no, I'm the strongest. I'm way more powerful than you are. So then the sun said, well, in order to figure out who's the strongest, see that man down there on the road? He's got a jacket on. Whoever can get that jacket off of him will win the bet of who's the strongest. And so the north wind said, no problem. And so the north wind went first. And the north wind blew and blew. And at first, the blowing of the wind, the man grabbed his jacket and held it around him tighter. And the harder the wind blew, the more the man held on to the jacket and just held it tighter and tighter around him. So then the sun said, well, yeah, you didn't succeed. Now it's my turn. So then the sun shone. And at first it was gentle. And the man got comfortable. And then the man, as the sun kept shining, the man started getting warm and warmer. And so as the man got really warm, he took off his jacket. Not only did he take off his jacket, but he went and found the shade of a tree and he laid the jacket down and he laid down on the jacket to take a nap. So in that test of strength, the wind and the sun decided that the wind won. The sun won. The wind didn't win. And so the moral to the story, or the teaching lesson of the story, is it was really about that blustery blow or an act of kindness. Which one is stronger? And it may be that when we look at our life and our interactions with others, that our acts of kindness actually have a stronger effect on the people around us and also on ourselves. And so I thought that was very appropriate as a hygge story, because when you look at the end of your day, review your acts of kindness and just watch how your acts of kindness are affecting the world. And that's my hygge tale.
That's nice.
I really like that a lot. because this month it's a difficult month for a lot of people to address because of the issues that the communities and basically nationwide, we have a nationwide crisis going on right now. And I don't know if it's a shift at and maybe modernizing something existing. And I think we're all on the same page because we all love kids.
So we're talking about mental health, right?
Correct. It's and there's so many people doing so many great things. And that's why I'm so thankful that Fayanne is here with us from the county. So Fayanne, I don't know, I shouldn't just chop your name in half.
Works.
That was rude.
No,
sorry about that. That's horrible. Hey, Faye, do people do that or no? I don't know. No, probably nobody did it but me. So I am so sorry about that. So why don't you say, as far as what you are, what the things that you're doing right now in the county?
Yes, absolutely. And I just thank you all too for bringing up the conversation and discussion of mental health, because like you said, it's so important, but it seems like our country is in a state of crisis. And so something that what prevention and early intervention really focuses on within our place of work there's different sectors of prevention and early intervention, and they include outreach for increasing recognition of early signs of mental illness. We have prevention programs, early intervention programs, access and linkages to treatment, suicide prevention programs, and stigma and discrimination reduction programs. And so within my short time in this role, we've actually revamped and started 10 new different programs that we have in place. And specifically, the ones that I think are near and dear to all of us here are those specific ones relating to youth.
Nice. Well, Stephanie, do you want to throw out, your some imports that you have, because you're in this. You lost your son a year ago, February 22nd, 22. He was 22 years old. You're doing things in the community, and you're trying to address issues that need to be looked at. What say you?
Well, okay, so when we talk about all these different programs, is it all, because I know that Santa Barbara County Behavioral Wellness has, they're part of, when you go to get help, CADA goes through you guys, it all goes through the one access line. Is that correct? In Santa Maria, Lompoc, Santa Barbara, it's kind of the center all for the umbrella for all the other entities. Is that correct?
Correct. We have our access line, but then yes, our system of care will contract with certain other providers, like you said, CADA and FSA programs.
What's the one that the project? Oh gosh, come on. Which I really like. Project Recovery. The Project Recovery, they have an inpatient and an outpatient program. And it seems like everything gets funneled through your one access line. And then the direction seems to go to what entity or what level of help after they've done their intake. Correct?
Correct. Yes, okay. You're spot on.
Okay.
Maybe after we take a break, we could go through how is it that a teen experiences help from, like maybe Project Recovery. What will happen for them so they have a sense of, okay, when I get involved, this is what I'm going to experience.
All right. Well,
I can tell you firsthand. I mean, from being with somebody.
Well, I got you. So let's do this, because he was giving us a smush sign anyway. So Dr. D, let's do this. Let's just stay here, everybody. We've got a lot of show. We'll be back with more.
Say, move for me, yeah. When you're done, I'll make you do it all again.
Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Welcome back to Teen Sports Radio. This is Christine Marie with A View from the Deck. And I brought with me Faye Ann Wooten Raya today from the Department of Behavioral Wellness, the Prevention and Early Intervention Healthcare Program Coordinator. Please tell us more, Faye Ann.
What a mouthful of a title. Yes, thank you again for having me. And something I would love to discuss with you all today is a program that we have in place that will be hopefully beginning next school year. And that is our countywide youth council, which is partnered with our behavioral health linkages team as well. So what this entails, the countywide youth council will be made up of students from all over the county from different high schools. Myself and possibly a few other staff members from behavioral wellness will coordinate meetings with these teenagers and discuss main issues that they're all having within their high schools and outcomes that they'd like to have in place, and more so of a support systems within the high schools and how we can assist with that. And then, of course, they can bring back our collaboration ideas and strategies back to their campuses to hopefully open up the conversation of mental health. And with that, the behavioral health linkages team is the same version, but with staff members, whether it's therapists, doctors, teachers, counselors. We have currently been meeting all together monthly, and that has it's provided a lot of insight for all of us because we get to come together with all of our different backgrounds. So with seeing the success of that, we want to be able to implement that with all of our students, because although students are all in high school, each high school has different struggles and issues going on that maybe another high school doesn't see. And so to be able to discuss that and come together, they'll realize, wait, we actually do have the same issues. It's not just us. So that's something we're looking forward to, and I think is a very positive way to break down the stigma and discussion of mental health.
That's brilliant. That's fantastic. Stephanie.
I was so impressed. I actually, Melissa, who's the educational wellness department, she sent me one of the shows, and I was fascinated at the group of kids that all got together and just spoke internally about their experience and what they're going through. And it was really nice to see kids collaborate on something that they know about, and it was just them. So that's in part of the programs that you're doing. So I like that part.
I look at mental wellness as like if we're looking like at a tree, and you have all these branches that have to go off the mental wellness. And the thing that I feel that I've talked to my friends, and I've always worked with at-risk kids, coached for 28 years, and what you're doing is great. We're laying a foundation for kids and dispensing the information kids to kids because it's their peer group. Brilliant. I love it. Okay. I think that's grand. The problem, and I think the disconnect, and this is what Stephanie is bringing aboard, and it has nothing to do with you, okay, Fan, but you could add insight. Maybe you have some ideas of how we can, because this is just having a table conversation. Is if I'm a mom, my kid is using drugs, I know it. We've been past the intervention stage, and I have friends, okay, and I have friends that have lost kids, okay, sadly. You don't coach 28 years and not lose a few kids, sadly. It's just, it's heart-wrenching. So Stephanie, you could ask, you've tried it in the other branch of the tree, something to do with you, Faye, I love what you're doing. But Stephanie, let's talk about that branch of like, we need of connecting a service like your sister to the child or the family, because in this county, it's months. And I could bring on people that are co-hosts that have needed help and they just didn't get it. So what do we got to do to fix that? Let's be creative to fix that. Stephanie, what have you been doing?
First of all, the difference between what I want now, listening to what the speak, and like, hopefully she said within next year. So that's a good goal. It's not unrealistic. It's a really good opening. It's a great thing for everybody to engage in. I am talking about the past has really, really failed us. Even today, we don't get the right information. We don't get people to answer the phone. The other day, I was given the wrong access line number, which was kind of scary because it actually directed me into somebody's voicemail that worked for the mental health there. I think our school education has completely annihilated us. A year and a half ago, our supervisor, Maldonado, I don't mind saying it, she was going to be putting the Narcan dispensaries all around Santa Barbara High. Nothing's ever been done. We've never had one speaker go in there. They're doing nothing this May at all, because I spoke to the district about the mental health. In fact, they didn't even know it, that it was mental health awareness. So now that what they're going to do is give everybody like a band to wear around, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, I
so
think,
that's very just.
Oh, thank you so much, Stephanie. I don't know, for some reason I've been wanting to sort of connect in with what the past has failed us, but people are waking up and there's a lot more going on, and we have a lot in place and we're moving forward. And I was thinking about the story that Dominique told and how she talked about the cold wind and how it was like made us pull tighter, but then all of a sudden the warm sun made us sort of, had us let go of the jacket and sort of relax into it. And I think what I'm thinking about is relationship, and how what I think is pretty wonderful is this intention for relationship that Faye-Ann is talking about, going in and building and talking and helping people feel comfortable about this, because this is a crisis and it's really scary. And the more we focus on the scary, the more scared we're going to get. But the more we focus on the connection and the listening and the relating with each other, the more we can relax a little bit and let this, let things in.
Well, I personally think that from my experience, I think that kids need to be let go of being so afraid. It mind boggles me how much they have to be afraid of and all these kinds of different things. But I understand the patience and the waiting. But when you jump up 3,000% in fentanyl deaths in Santa Barbara,
300.
Well, yeah, and it's really scary.
It's not scary. It's murder. It's child abuse for people to allow this to continue at our schools. And I understand the slow and, but we don't have time for slowness. I mean, I'm welcome anything that we can do that's moving forward, but I just don't see a lot of collaboration.
Dawn Sanders, you're in the house. You've suffered a loss. Your son OD'd on fentanyl over Christmas. What do you say?
Well, I came in a little late to the discussion here. And one thing, I was just at the local coffee shop this morning talking with some people. One of them still at the school district. The other one has recently left. And attention is the hardest thing for them to garner now. Like, not the attention as in the care and thought that we give to young people, but with devices first and then the pandemic second, there's just, they cannot get students' attention back. And that's a huge problem. And it was always an issue, but now it's just been exacerbated by these things. How do you keep a connection? And that's that's one of the biggest frustrations I had about my son that died because of fentanyl poisoning, was that for so many years, it was like I was on the other side of a river and I can't get over there to connect with him. And it's been hard to even access grief, just trying to get through this frustration about not being able to have reestablished a connection like I have with my other 3 kids.
You know something? Let's leave it there. That is brilliant. And I want to get right back to that after these messages.
Well, now together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and a man. Together we'll stand, divided we'll fall. Come on now, people, let's get on the ball and work together. Come on, let's work together. Now, people, because together we will stand, every boy, every girl, and a man.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday.
9 a.m.
All right.
Adele.
Hi, it's Adele. Thanks for having me. And we were talking before the show about anger versus depression and how I, as a therapist, really prefer people to come in angry, upset. They have a lot of energy. There's something to work with. There's some passion versus somebody that comes in depressed. They can't move. They kind of sit there. Sometimes they fall asleep. It's the worst thing in the world. So I think this anger is actually, if you can transform it into some sort of positive flow, like my sister Stephanie has been doing over and over, trying to get that energy, that anger, and putting it towards something positive. I think that's really, really valuable and really helpful. And we can't give up no matter what's happened in the past. We have to keep moving forward. And I do like the whole idea about connection and being kind and being like trying to think positively. And let's not view anger as our enemy. Yeah. Anger is powerful, and we need to be angry about this. And, you know, we need to not have it hurt us or harm us in any way or harm society, but we need to figure out a way to channel it. And I think my sister's meandering back and forth and doing a beautiful job of this. So yay for anger. I can't, you know, I'm much rather have that than depression.
Yeah,
it's energy.
It's energy, right? It's passion for something, and it's energy. It's fire.
Yeah, it makes me think of what I've heard in the past, that actually depression is anger turned inward, where Absolutely. We don't know what to do with our anger, and and it goes inward, where we're maybe self-blame or caught in cycles of loops in our mind of thoughts that are not kind to ourselves or to anybody else. And so I think that, especially to ourselves, right? Yeah, with depression.
Right.
And if I can say, Dawn, your comment about the connectivity and attention, and that it's even hard to access our grief, I think that, Fayanne, when you have the opportunity to work with students and so forth, part of what we discuss in Teen Sports Radio is just the complexity of the emotional nature that our teens are going through now, that we as parents didn't have to experience. There's such a demand on their attention with devices and news and global understanding of global issues, world events. It's amazing. But what Dawn cultivates, and some of the things that Dawn shares with us, is that quiet time in nature about a chance to connect with yourself and connect with others.
Well done. Dawn, you want to?
Well, what she was just coming on reminding me, it's like we only have the brain only has so much time each day that it can really bore down and concentrate on something, and you know, I think that's one of maybe the most distracting things about TikTok is like if you feel like, oh, I don't have to get up yet, let me just pick up the phone, and then you get sucked down the rabbit hole, it's like you go 12 different places within 5 minutes, and it just completely destroys your concentration maybe for the day. I mean, it really does have an effect on the mind. And I've read stuff to support that, and I've experienced it enough times to where I dump that app.
I know Dominique and I had a conversation this morning, and she's like, well, Erica, that is quite a leap. You know what I mean? So, because the way my brain was connecting the dots, there's from way over here to way over here. She goes, you have to think about what you're saying, because Dominique, how did you put it? And I stopped. And at first I was mad. At first I was like, wait, just stop the truck here, okay? But then she went away, and I was drinking my coffee because I have a problem with owning my stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, she's right. You know, I got to be careful, because then I'm now getting, it's almost programming, and I don't want to do, and I don't do TikTok. I don't do any of that stuff, but I do pick up stuff, and I'm connecting left with right. Dominique, what did I do? I don't even remember now.
So I highly recommend any high school student, if you see the chance to take a logic class, please do so. The logic class will help you with so many things, including the advancements of AI and so forth, and understanding so many world events. But what you learn in the logic class is you have to be able to walk from A to B to C to D. And the part of the problem of TikTok is you're getting all these emotional hits everywhere, and our brain is constantly trying to integrate and connect, but they're not necessarily integrated and connection. So the anger that you might have at this event over here may not have anything to do with the homelessness on State Street. And yet you get these word mishmash of emotional hits, and then you're expected to integrate all this information. And so in our conversation, I just said, well, wait a second. Your anger at the way a sports person acted over here does not connect to how we deal with homelessness on State Street. There is not a connection. And so that's what a logic class helps to teach, is that it helps you see there's fallacies in arguments. There's a way to properly present ideas that are very clear, so we can come to solutions. And that's what we want for our kids in our community. We want to come to solutions.
So I have a question. This is Christine. I wanted to ask Fayanne. So we're all older people, and our brains work in our brains ways. But how is it like? Is there something that you see in terms of technology and getting lost down the rabbit hole or anything like that? How does that relate? Can you relate to the conversation as we talk about it? Is there a different way that the youth talk about it?
What I've noticed, I believe, a large part of why teens are even sucked into technology. Everyone's on there. It seems like a social aspect, but in reality, it's drawing everyone away from each other, because you're just sitting on your phone all the time, scrolling. But I see it as somewhat of an outlet, because kids don't know how to have that discussion of, I need help, or I am feeling this way, but I don't know how to address it at all within my communication. And, there are outlets out there on technological platforms that give this advice and whatnot. And some students look into that, but in reality, they really buried that down and just rather look at the fun videos or whatever they're interested in. Mm-hmm. And I think that really, buries those internal feelings of stress, anger, sadness, anxiety, anything. But with, like we've all touched on, that short attention span, people start to get anxious because they're not watching something new. And I agree. I see that as a struggle. And I'm just hopeful for our future with even the programming we have in place is to really dig up those depressed feelings of struggle and to bring more awareness to that conversation.
And to help people share or to find ways to where to know how to reach out or, to learn about that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, besides externally taking drugs to calm the noise or to escape or whatever, this Stanford neuroscientist, Andrew Huberman, my son put me onto his podcast. He's saying that we're actively seeking all our feel-good chemicals inside too. Like we want to experience, what happens when we crush a bunch of dopamine or oxytocin or serotonin or, cortisol. Cortisol is a big stimulant. It's pretty negative, but, people are really, really seeking that dopamine thing. So I think that, a kid may just want to assuage their anxiety.
Got it.
For an older person, they might just get completely carried off, focusing their attention on things that need to get done, and they just might be drowning in a big dopamine bath.
Hey, Don, we got to go. So you're not looking at me. You're not great.
Because I'm on the phone.
I got you. Let's take a break. We got a shorty right after these messages.
Whisper the sounds of silence. People talking without speaking. People hearing without listening. People writing songs that voices never share. No one dare disturb the sounds of silence.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hi, this is Stephanie Forrester, the community activist, and this was a great program that we had today. I'm looking forward to hearing different views and moving forward and keeping the positivity moving up and also keeping some action plans that are going to get in place. And it's really nice to have a younger team on here. It was very nice meeting you and really looking forward to seeing what we've got next.
Nice. Dominique.
Faye, and oh my gosh, we're so excited. We're looking for feedback because us as parents want to know what our kids need. And we don't want to assume that our kids need what we think that they need. We want to see them and validate them and hear what we can do to help.
Nice. Adele.
Hi, so glad to be part of this conversation and so excited that we're getting youth involved. These kids nowadays are so tuned in and so aware and so smart, and really giving them a place to have a voice and really listening to what they have to offer, ideas that they have is so important. And I really, really love that idea. So good luck.
Yeah, thank you, Faye Ann, for coming on. Thank you, Stephanie and Adele and Dawn for all of your information. And I'm really looking forward to seeing connection, seeing those branches go out, seeing the connections, the flowering that can happen, the relationships that can be built. And it sounds like there are a lot of really good things in place. And I think that's where things are. Well, that's, I can't remember who else was talking about. Was it addiction? And we were talking about relationship, that's the thing. I think maybe others have spoken about that, and that when we create relationship, we offer a different opportunity.
Great. What I want to try to encourage is groups, small groups, maybe bigger groups, larger groups, because it's that energy, that vibration that a human being has towards another human being. I don't really want to see platforms, AI platforms. It's kind of like serve yourself, help yourself. I would really like to see, I needed help once, and then at the end of the day, I got that help immediately in an appointment immediately through my insurance company. I didn't have to wait months. I didn't have to wait weeks. And I got a phone. I got somebody to pick up. I got to talk to a human being.
You got a human.
A human. We need humans, people. Okay. Connect. Parents, have conversations with your kids this week. God bless you all. See you next week.
I'm unstoppable. I'm a Porsche with no brakes.